I was chasing shadows, moving too fast. Didn't see the way our love couldn't last. Now I'm stuck replaying what I put you through. Every night I'm haunted by the thought of you. If you need my loving, call me and I'll step on you. And we can talk all night long. If you want this loving, then call me and I'll drive to you. And we can touch all night long. Just call me and I'll come through. Just call me and I'll come through. Just call me and I'll come through.
Alrighty, y'all. Good morning. Welcome back to another programming live stream. So, it's been a while since I played around with this application, and it's going to be a lot of just like probably Googling and things like that. And I don't even remember like 100% like what I was wanting to do with this like episode slash video that I was working on for this specific project. I think what we are going to work on next is our goals. What I would like to do is like set it up so we can either set it up as like recurring or like a one-time goal with the duration, right? And then have like a recurring type or something, recurrence type that's like either weekly, monthly, or yearly. And then so basically it resets every week, resets every year, resets every month type situation. And then that can maybe be like the duration, or it can be like a normal, like ends on a specific date, and then like set the date picker and all that stuff. So we'll see kind of like how far we get and what we can get to today. It's been a very long time since I've touched this app and messed with React Native. So this is going to be basically a journey for all of us again. I need to learn it again. But now that Let's Build Twitter is starting to wind down, I'm just recording episodes at this point. We're going to start picking up this series again on YouTube. And then this is going to, once Let's Build Twitter is over, this is going to transition into like my primary series for the time being while I work on like other stuff. And then I think I have an idea for my next like quote unquote like bigger project. So we'll see. I also want to work on the cooking book app as well. So we'll see how things go. But I think the first thing that we want to do, and we probably need to like, well, I'll probably look up how to redo our database and all of that stuff. Like make a new migration and everything since we're restarting this. But I think we want to export type and occurrence type maybe is equal to, and then this will be weekly or monthly or yearly. Now there might be some expenses, there obviously might be like some expenses and stuff that are like 2 weeks or something, but it is what it is. So we'll still want the ID, we'll still want the name, we still want the amount that they want to save, and I think we'll keep duration. Type we'll keep, and then here what we'll say is recurring, maybe. I don't know if it's spelled like this or with 2 R's. But recurring will be an integer, and then we'll just call this recurring. Or in my line of work, we call it evergreen, but we'll just call it recurring. And we'll do the same thing again. Mode will be Boolean. And then .default will be false. So we won't default them to recurring. And then we'll have our occurrence type. And then this one will be what we have up here, where we have a text. And we'll have occurrence underscore type, and we should probably also have like a null or a none for this, because by default we're gonna have it not be recurring. So we might also want a null here, which is going to make our working with this object a little bit, or this type a little bit more annoying, but it is what it is. So occurrence type will be $sign type. Excuse me. $sign type. And then this will be our occurrence type. We probably want to export that. We did. Terrific. And then we'll do this. And then .default will be null. So by default, it won't have an occurrence type, and then we'll set it to whatever. And then we won't have a restart start a month, because we are already setting it up to like Because we're basically setting it up to restart whether it's recurring or not. So I'm going to actually get rid of restart start a month. And the question is, do we actually do want occurrence? Because like I think maybe we want like an end date on this. Maybe like a start date and end date or something. But I'm not 100% sure if we do want that. I'm not sure how we're going to like store these and restart these each month. So that'll be interesting. I guess we can just like check the dates on the transactions and things like that, and whether or not we're tracking the transaction. I think maybe we do keep the duration, and we can just calculate the date based off the duration. So like the end date would be like X amount of days. So yeah, the end date could be like today plus how many days it is. And then for the weekly and monthly occurrence, we'll just reset on the first of the month. And reset on Sundays, I guess, because that's kind of like the start of the week. These are the things that we need to kind of like work through with our goals here as we get going. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we want to mess with before I try to do the drizzle stuff, because I think we need to create if we go into drizzle, we need to create a new migration file. Migration.js. Yeah, I think we need to recreate this. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete this. Oops. And yes, it's mad at me, that's fine. Okay. I'm going to oops. Quit out of this. And then what we're gonna do is, let me look up the migration guide again. Drizzle DB React Native. Here we go, React Native SQLite. Is it not gonna work? Expo SQLite. I just gotta see how we run the migration. npx drizzle kit generate. Okay. So let's go ahead and run our npx drizzle kit generate. Okay, and then now that generates all of this stuff for us. And now I'm gonna quit out of this window and resplit it. What I need to do is I need to set up a window for, I really need to set up a window like a tmux session. I might just go ahead and do this, honestly. I need to set up a new tmux session for whoops, this guy, but it is what it is. Cd code, cd freedom tracker UI. Whoops, cd freedom tracker first. I just haven't set up, oh, I spelled it wrong. I just haven't set it up yet because it's kind of a pain to keep them alive, the tmux sessions, so I'd rather just have one for freedom tracker or whatever project I'm working on, rather than switching between them. cd freedom tracker UI. I guess I'll just do this npm run start, and we're in the test environment, restarting the database. And hopefully it doesn't crash the database because we did all that stuff, but it should reset the database and basically have the expense stuff in there. Now the thing that sucks is there's no way to actually see what's in the database right now because we're using Windows Subsystem for Linux, which is very unfortunate, but what can you do? Okay. Of course, it failed to run the table. Let's see. Create table accounts. Why? This is what's annoying about this sometimes. Whoops. If we run it again, is it gonna work? Sometimes this shit just doesn't work for no reason. I don't remember what we did to make it work. Okay, it's still failing to run the table. And there's a way. Let's see. This is what I was worried about. So I should have ran this reset database. Let's see here. So now I gotta figure out, remember. So feature enabled expo reset database. It should have been trying to reset the database. And it doesn't give us any info about why. It just says failed to run query create account table accounts. Doesn't say. This is what sucks about this as well. It doesn't say why it's failing. But if we go ahead and try to connect an account now, it's not going to let us do a random account. I think we just do like user, name, and password. Or username and pass. I don't remember which one it is. Yeah, continue. I think it's going to break if we try to do this. It shows that there's an account there. I think there's a way we could see the database, but I don't remember how we did it. Let's see. It says we have an account. Oh, let's put our nickname in. Put an Ethan. Okay. Let's see if it breaks. Yeah. Native database prepare was rejected. Table goals has no column name recurring. Yeah, it didn't create the tables. Ah, damn it. Okay, let's see. What I was worried about. And haven't dealt with this in a long time, so I don't remember. We have this. We have this. We have this snapshot. We have this. We have a create table accounts. And our migration.js. M0 is plain wildpack.sql. Okay. Why? Why are we playing this game today? We might not get anything done. And it should be let's see here. We go into our layout. It should be running this. I think we can console.log here. I don't remember if it's console log or screen.print. It must be console.log. I don't remember how these work. It's been a while. Reset database. And maybe our feature flag is not actually working the way it's supposed to be. It was working. Let's see. So we don't see yet. It is loading the .local.env first. And then it's grabbing things from environment test, which is what we want. So now if we close this and reopen it, it is not calling reset database. Terrific. I don't remember what we did to do this. And we really broke it now. So, because we have data in our one thing. This should be running. Let's run test. has reset database to true. Oops. npm run start test. App environment equal test. This was working before I stopped working on this a while back. We are injecting from env test. So that should be working. So what is the deal here? I love dealing with this and database migrations. And this was working because we had mocks working, I believe. Because mocks just ignores the database. Run start mocks. Because we had mocks working, but I think the database is so scuffed now that it probably won't load. Yeah, so like, we also need to figure out why the hell this is breaking. The CSS just doesn't work either, so that's cool. So mocking is working. It knows that we're in the mocking environment. I don't remember where we check for that though. So let's see. If we look in layout, function is feature enabled, public reset database. I don't remember where we set up mocking here. Connect account. Whoops. Const mocking is a constants expo config extra enable mocks. Now I don't remember where we set this up either. That's cool. Let's see. Gonna be in our config. Yeah. So this is where we're setting this up at. Checking for if we're in mock or we're in test. And then we have extra, we have enable mocks. That's where we're setting that up at. So that's how the mocks are working. But obviously, if we look at our index.tsx or our layout, this is feature enabled is not working. I'm assuming that's in some sort of utils or something. Yeah. We have is feature and flavor. Wait a second. Am I using Y in test? No. Try this. And I'm doxing myself right now, I think. Hopefully that's just my local, not my... Let's try this. Go into our layout. Because our util... And I need to fix up a lot of these issues, but... The util is looking for equal to Y. Yeah, and we had it to true, not Y. So if we go back into underscore layout, now we're going to check reset database. Let's see now. Now if I run test, close out of this. Like I said, this is going to be interesting because I haven't worked on this project in a while. We grab stuff from test. Reset database. There we go. Okay, so now it didn't break. We need to, on startup, if restart database is true, probably clear these as well. Let's see. So if reset database, let's go into our setup page. And so it's on not this. It might be on restore page. And it's coming from here, from async storage. So like, I'm gonna check to see, although the issue is this, what I'll do is I'll say async storage.set item. I'm assuming is how we do this in our layout. When we do this, we'll also say async storage dot set item, and do the same thing here. I don't remember what these are called though. Let's see. Then setup. Let's grab these. The only issue is that this needs to be in an async, because we only want to do it like on startup. We don't want to do this let's say on reset app for test maybe equal to an async function. And then here we'll call reset db, reset db, like so. And then we'll go ahead and paste those in. And we'll say is equal to set item. And then I don't know if this is undefined or okay, it's not undefined. Can it be an empty string? We might be able to set it to an empty string. I don't know for sure. And what is your problem? I don't know. Oh, we need the expo db. Expo db. Okay. So I don't know what these are actually supposed to store. So that's the next thing. It's coming from the connect account page, I believe. No, these are the goals. So what are we setting in here? These are the goals. This is a true or false. The string with true or false in it. Okay. Set these to false. Then we'll await. Promise all savings tracking set. Got this wrong. I don't know why this is mad at us. And I'll just call reset app. I don't know if it's gonna work or not, so this will be fun. Reset app for a test. My stomach just went crazy. Okay. Callback is not a function, it is false. Oh, this should be set item. Why that's mad at us. So let's just see if this works. If we close out the app, should reset the database. That looks better. Also get rid of these constants up here, or these things that are kind of mad at us. Okay, we're only 30 minutes into the stream and we finally got the app kind of working. So now whenever we restart the app in test mode, it clears everything out. So that's better. 6. So now what we want to do is, let's see. So now, let's see here. We want to update the ability to actually like save a goal. So like in our, and we'll probably want to put this into like its own component at some point. But for now, let's just like get this set up so we can click on one of these guys and then maybe it pops open, right? And then we can like select between one-time goal or recurring and some other stuff. So let's come back into our setup component and let's see. So we have these toggle savings. And we might also need to set up like an open that is by default, that just gets like set closed by default. So, I'm guessing this is just, yeah, checked. So we'll also go ahead and add, I don't know if we ever need to use that or not. Const, open savings. And set open savings equal to use state, and then we'll have a boolean and false. We'll do the same thing, say const and open tracking, set open tracking, equal to use state. This one we're not going to keep track of as we go, false, and then we'll have const open debt, set open debt equal to use state, and a boolean and false. So I do also have designs for some of the stuff. I just haven't implemented them yet. I need to figure out the best way to actually style a React Native application and set up like the theming and stuff, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. So what I'm thinking is on our, and I might already have a component created for this, I'm not sure. So this is handle submit user information. So this is where we're probably creating our goals, and I think we have a service for creating a goal. Let's see, persist goals, await persist account, persist connection, generate goals. Yeah, so we have something that does this for us at this point. So we need to figure out how to, oh, here's our persistent goals equal to await day store. So yeah, so these are now going to be a lot more complicated based on some data that we have. So we might need to like set up another piece of state tracking all this, like that stores like objects, stores goal objects or something. But let's do this. Where is our actual selections at? Let's start working on the selection level, be able to open this up and all of that stuff. So let's see here. We have welcome to Freedom Tracker. We have select your goals, and then we have the touchable opacity, which is our goal. So let's make a goal. Do I want to call it goal selector, or do I want to call it something else? I can call it goal selector, or I could call it do I want to call it goal selector or goal creator? or create goal component. The thing is, it's slightly different though, because we're probably gonna have another way, because this is just like checkboxing each of the goals that we want. We're gonna have another one that like is just kind of popped up open, right? And I'm gonna actually look at Figma really quick. I don't want to leak my plans, but I'm gonna open up Figma actually and see if I do have a plan for I gotta remember which account I used, so this will be interesting. I want to see if I did have a plan. Oh, okay, let's switch accounts to my unknown coder YouTube, or unknown coder Google. As freedom trackers created by my unknown coder account. Okay, so if I look at my thought I had another page. I do in mobile designs. Let's see here. Do I have? Yeah, so I have like a goal card. And I have a goal checkbox. So I'm wondering if how do I want to do with this? I'm thinking we do make. I'm thinking what we do is we make two separate components. And then we make like a setup goal selector. That is this checkbox. And then we make a goal card, which is slightly different. And then we make one more component where like we make what we do is we make like a goal, and then we select I mean, it's gonna be different enough. I don't actually have like a way that we're creating goals. Is the thing. I have updating goals, but I don't have like creating goals. Oh wait, I do have a create new goal. How do I want to do this? It's gonna be a lot of thinking. So maybe we do a create goal card. Create goal card .tsx. All right, and I think we still take this touchable opacity. Now the only thing that's gonna suck, I guess we can still like have an on press on this and an on press on the other thing. We're just going to do a lot of moving data around, which is not going to be as fun. But I think we can deal with that. We're going to have to move styles around and stuff. But again, I think we can handle that. Excuse me, goodness. So, yeah, I guess let's take this. Now the thing is, this one is going to be different though, because It has a checkbox. The other one's gonna have like an image that just opens and closes. So that's the question here. How do we actually want to deal with this without like duplicating too much code? Like part of me wants to create like a goal individual card. How do we want to deal with this? I don't want to duplicate a bunch of code. We can always go back and refactor. Like that is the thing. We can always go back and refactor later. So like, shouldn't it be that big of a deal if we need to go back and refactor? Like what I could do is I could just say like, this is a setup gold card. And then we could have like a add gold card, and we can also have like another one. Because they are going to act differently. Like when they're tapped and all of that stuff. So I think maybe we do this. We maybe make a new folder called goals. And this will be like a goal components. And then we go ahead and say set up goal card. So this is like our setup page goal card. We could call this setup screen goal card.tsx maybe. This is gonna act slightly differently than the other ones. And then we can go ahead and take this guy. And then what we'd want to do is probably go through and set up like a global style for this goals. And I don't remember exactly how we do this. So let's look at our other components. So we just say export const, just like React. And then we can also have on press and stuff. Okay. So looks like it acts just like React. So export const, and this is setup screen goal card. And this is a react.fc. And we will need props, but we'll set up those props in a second. And then I'm guessing we can just return. But I think you have to return a view, right? I think you need to return a view from React Native. And then you can throw the touchable opacity inside the view. I don't know if our formatting will work on this. Oh, it will. Let's go. Okay, so we can do that. Now on press, we need to update. Okay. We need to obviously do all this styles and stuff. Import that. We need to look at the ion icons and see that stuff. So then what we can do is we'll come back into setup, and I'm gonna yoink these styles really quick. Obviously this is not the way we want to do this. Let's go and copy this, yoink it, go into our setup screen goals, paste it in there, and we just need to go ahead and create this. Okay, it's not gonna let us. We need to import text. Well, go and do that. That should fix this. Const is, let's just save this to is checked, and set is checked equal to use state, and put a boolean in here. Oops, boolean, and set that as false. And we'll need to do some work to actually pass if this is checked. So honestly, this will probably be props. part of a prop. So we'll go ahead and say interface setup screen goal card props. So we're gonna need a is checked equal to a boolean. We're definitely gonna need like a select goal. So if we select a goal, we'll go ahead and be a function that returns void, and delete this, and then here it's an on press event, which is a gesture responder event. So let's go ahead and throw that in there. So now we can select a goal, and this part needs to be imported as well. Okay, so now we can go ahead and say that this is the setup screen goal card props. To be able to open this up is checked. Oops, is checked, and our select goal. Then we can go ahead and actually do this. We can go ahead and select goal, and then is checked, and then is checked, and then we're going to do some. We're gonna need like an update property or something. Update property, and this one will be interesting. We'll have to figure out how we kind of deal with this, and I'm wondering if there's not some sort of context we could use here, but this will basically like update what's the word? This will basically like update the data inside, like if it is a whatever. So why is style sheet not uploading? Let's see here. Gotta be, where's style sheet.create get imported from? Comes from React Native. Okay, let's go ahead and import style sheet as well. Oops, whoopsie daisies. God damn it. Try again. Style. Go. Okay, so let's get rid of container, space content, title, input wrapper, text. We want our goal selector and our goal text, and the rest of this we'll get rid of as well. Okay. Like I said, I want to come up with a more efficient way to do our CSS. We just haven't gotten that far yet. The view we might need to mess with, I'm not sure yet. But basically what I'm thinking is we also need the title, the string, and the subtitle. The string. Okay. And then we need to also be able to open and close it, but I think we can deal with opening and closing it in here. I think. And like on press, we might also do like const handle card, and press is not clicked. E, which is a gesture responder event, and we'll check to see if not. We need to figure out like how we want to deal with this. Which honestly, like when the cards click, we can probably open it as well, and be fine. Const is open, set is open, equal to use state of a boolean, and it'll automatically false. And the question is, do we want to make it so you have to press the button? Right now you can click anywhere. So it makes me wonder if we want to make it so that you have to click on the checkbox. It's kind of unintuitive, which is a problem, right? It's kind of unintuitive if you have to press the checkbox. And maybe it's an issue if it's like too big. Not sure. We'll explore that. I want to look at these icons. Okay, this should probably be some sort of like chevron up, chevron down, I would imagine. There is. Chevron down outline. Okay. So we have our touchable opacity. I'm wondering if I'm thinking about making the checkbox the touchable opacity instead. What I'm thinking about doing is have this style equal to the styles dot selector, like so, and then making this the touchable opacity. I don't know if this is going to work. Touchable opacity and touchable opacity, and then throw the on press on this, obviously. Kind of gross, but select goal, and then deleting this touchable opacity. Whoops. Whoops. There we go. Base CF. Okay, type. Oh my goodness. There we go. So now you should only be able to click on the checkbox itself. Let's throw the title and subtitle in here. Title and subtitle. That. Okay. And then let's see. This will be the title now. We'll have a little bit of work to do. We'll probably want to group these together, stack them on top of each other, and do some other work. But let's see. In the setup, we can't use this, and if it's broken. So let's take this touchable opacity. I'm going to delete it, and this is going to be a setup screen goal card, where the is checked is going to equal to our is saving checked. Okay. Title will equal to our saving money. We'll have a subtitle. This will just equal to an empty string for now. We're not using it. We'll have an on press, or forgot what the last one's called. We'll have to look in a second. It's select goal. Okay. So select goal. Go ahead and do this. We also need to do a toggle property. Or update property. Update property. We'll have to deal with, whoops. Another time. Or not a time, but like we'll have to deal with that later. Select goal we do want to set up though. Okay, so select goal. So this will be I gotta look at what we call this. Select goal is going to be, we can clean up a lot of this as well, probably. Toggle savings. Let's go and copy toggle savings. Paste that guy in here. Okay, so let's see how broken this is. Let's restart the app. So now if we click on it, it shouldn't do anything, but if we click on this guy, it works like a charm. And let's see how hard it is to click on that. Not too bad. I think that's feasible. So now, what we want, then we want a view. We'll need to deal with like the title and all that stuff, but we need another text in here. Of another text. And we'll have to set up a style for this. We need to work on the style for the other one. So this will be our subtitle. And so now we'll call this, instead of goal text, we'll call this goal title. We'll also have a goal subtitle. Now this will be styles.goal title. And then this will be styles.goal subtitle. And then for the subtitle, let's actually see how I have this set up. So this guy, I have it as an H6, which is, let's see here. What's the size of you? 20. I think. And line height 24. So yeah, so now we can say font size is 20 and line height is 24, and then our semi-bold, which is what? Semi-bold, I don't know what semi-bold is. I'm guessing it's like 600 or something. I'm just gonna say font, oops, font weight is I'm assuming it's 600 for semi-bold. And then subtitle, we have body medium, which is a font weight regular, which I'm assuming is 400. So font size for this guy is going to be 16. We're going to have a line height, line height of 20. There's probably a way for us to set this all up globally. I'm just not doing it at this moment. And then regular, so font weight is going to be 400. Probably like try to set this up in like something else. So there's that, and it's inside of a view, so it should be fine. So now if we add the subtitle to this, so we come back into our setup. So now the subtitle is going to be track, and we probably could have done like children or something. The money coming in and out of your account on a daily basis. And what we'll probably want to do is set this up as a whatever it's called. Set this up as a what's the word for this? Some sort of translation situation, like based on language or whatever, but we'll deal with that at a later date. So now obviously the style is not working. So we probably want to set like a, we'll say style equal to styles dot goal and text container. Maybe we can set up that goal text container, goal text container. If we just say width 100%, let's see what happens here. And let's make sure we do this. I'm just messing at this point. Does that fix our issue? It does not. Width. Let's see. Because this one already has a width 100%. Our checkbox has a width. This and this. How do we want to deal with this? Height is going to have to be fit content. Height. Might just have to get rid of height, honestly. That's fine. We'll put some padding on the top and bottom. Kind of clean that up. So width. The thing is, this should be part of this. So if we say like 80%, it looks better. $50 is gonna be too small. Yeah. We might do something like that, and we need to probably add some padding and stuff in there. So we'll see how this goes here. And let's also put in our setup screen, let's add the period. Okay. And we can deal with like making it look quote unquote nice later. I'm not that concerned about it. And then we want another view. And then inside this view, we want to check is open question mark. Right? And then if it's open, we want ion icons name equal to, and this is gonna be interesting. So this one says chevron down outline. Like, I don't know if we say chevron, oops, chevron, like a type, that'd be cool. Chevron down. If it's open, we want chevron up. We can say size is 16 and color is black. That's fine. Found FFF. Otherwise, we'll say ion, which we might be able to do this actually. And this should probably actually be a touchable opacity, because we're going to be able to click on this guy. Touchable opacity. And we're going to say name instead of curly braces. We're going to say is open question mark. It'll be chevron up. Otherwise, it'll be chevron down. And I broke this. Let's fix this. Oops, why is it not showing up? And I broke it again. Oh, it's white. It should be black. So now you can see we have this, and then what we'd want to do is whenever we click on it, we want to open it. So I don't know if we want the handle card pressed. Handle open card clicked, maybe. We'll say set is open to open the not open. And then on this guy on press will be equal to handle open card clicked. So now if we click on this guy, the big hey, close this, hey, do whatever. And then what we'd have is we'd have a whole thing here. We say is open and then inside this will have a view. We have all the extra stuff to set up the information. So we need like a name. We need like a some other stuff. And right now, it's like now we can select it, right? And we can also open and close it. Now the thing is, I think whenever we click on select, we want to open it automatically. So I think that's why we wanted the const handle and then select clicked maybe. So e react.mouse event, not react to mouse event, it's a gesture bonder event. So then we can say like if is checked is equal to false. Oops, I could type, oh my goodness. Is checked or not is checked. So if we're just now checking it for the first time, then we'll also go ahead and call the handle card clicked fasten E. That's probably fine. And then here on press for this touchable opacity, we'll actually call the handle select clicked. So now if we close out of our app here and reopen it, if this guy is closed and we click on this, ooh. Okay. Oh, you know what? It's because we didn't call the function. We also obviously want to call the select goal. Whoops. Select goal, pass an E. Okay, let's restart it again just for good measures. So now if we click on this, it selects it and it opens up the drop down, and then we can just go and close out of the drop down as well whenever we want to. That's kind of like the idea there. We'll deal with the spacing and styling and all of that at a later date. Now I need to look at kind of like what I'm thinking whenever we're creating this guy. Oops. So whenever we create a goal, what we're thinking here is like we have this and then we'll have like a line underneath which we can deal with. So we can say view will be like our break line. We'll set that up and then we'll have another view. Inside this view we'll have some text, and this will basically say what are you tracking, and I think this is the part that we can extract out into its own component probably. We really wanted to. Okay, so we can say like what are you tracking? And then we would have our input, which I don't remember how we even do an input. So let's look at our setup. So it's a text input. Grab this. Let's start our text input in here. Okay, I'm assuming we can import this. So style we'll deal with in a little bit. I don't care about the style right now. So delete that. Placeholder is going to be goal name. Value, we'll need to go ahead and we could probably store these locally. I'm not sure. Like, does this take an ID or name? Does have an ID. Like, ID can be goal, maybe just name, I guess. Placeholder's goal name, a value. I think we need to store this locally, but the question is, I don't think we store this as and the other thing that I see that's slightly different from like this, so this one is going to be like a savings goal. Right? Or like whatever type of goal, saving money in this case. My drop down, I'm thinking of like allowing them to select what type of goal they want to select. That would already be like kind of selected for them. We'd ignore that part, I guess. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like what properties we'd actually want to keep. Because we'd probably want like to set up a type that's like I don't know what I call it, goal setup or goal properties or something, I don't know. And obviously we want the name, the string, const goal, that goal is equal to use state, and then this was going to be a goal properties, and then name will be an empty string to start. And then now like the problem is how are we doing input in here? Text input on change text, and on change text handle username input. Now where's on change text at? Generate goals. I don't even see on change text. See handle username input. I don't see on change text. No, I'm stupid. Handle username input. Okay, yeah. And handle name, that just takes in a string. So we're almost better off doesn't take in an E. I don't know that I love that. Oh, someone would take in some sort of event. Let's look up React native handle text input. Let's see. There's gotta be like some sort of event. No, it just takes in the text. I don't like that at all. Okay then. So I guess there's not really a good way to distinguish between, I guess. So that kind of stinks. Say const handle name change is equal to, and let's take in a string or a name string, and we can still at least use this object. Let me open up our Figma again. So then we'll go ahead and say set goal to dot 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 goal. And I think we need to say goal this dot 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 goal, and then we'll say name like that. Maybe no, it does not like that. Set goal function goal. Actually no, I think this is fine doing it like this, and then name. There we go. So now handle name change. So value we goal dot name, and then this will be handle name change. I guess it doesn't need an ID because we can't use set ID anyway. So might as well get rid of that. Right, so there's like our text input. I don't know if this works or not. String must be rendered within a text. What string? Oh, this break line. Okay, we'll just ignore that break line for now. Okay, so now it's opening on the side. So we need to work on the way this is going to work. So here's our goal selector. So I think maybe we need to wrap this touchable opacity and this touchable opacity in a view. Okay. And then I don't know why that broke that. Maybe because this touchable opacity closed itself. Okay. We're going to move this style here. And instead of this being goal selected, this is going to be goal card. And then we're going to set up a goal card in here. So goal card. And let's go and do this. So our goal card, we'll take this up here. We'll take this and bring it up here. Oops. Okay. There we go. Now the height is kind of scuffed. We'll figure that out. I don't know why the height is scuffed. Probably because the border's on the wrong spot. So let's go ahead and take the border up here. There we go, looks better. And then we might as well do this guy. So this will be our style equal to, whoops, goal dot break line. Go and do our break line under here. While we're here, so this will be width 100%, assuming this will work. 100%. We'll go ahead and do a height of 2 pixels. Height of 2. And then background color. Let's just do black for now. Pound 000. I'm thinking about adding a vertical on it of like 12. And I spelled break line wrong. Did I call it goal break line? be not style goal, be styles break line. Why is it 700 pixels? We want margin, maybe margin vertical. Looks better. So now if we click on this, it goes away, open it, it comes back. Now we'd probably want this to be like gray actually. Let's actually have it match the border color. It looks a lot better. And what does 1 pixel look like? 1 pixel I think looks slightly better. I think. Now, I'm about to put just padding on this of 12. I think that'll look slightly better. And that looks better. And we might flex start this. I like center on this better. Checkbox. I might align self. Flex start if we can. Does that look better or worse? I think that looks worse. Let's not do that. I don't want to get into styling like too bad here. I just want to kind of like get this set up. Then we have what are you tracking as a goal. And this, I guess I'm not worried about the size, right? I just want to kind of set this up. So we have what are you tracking? And we can say like, I don't know, monthly savings, right? Click done. So monthly savings. And then we're going to skip what type of goal, obviously. And then we'll have a view. And this one is going to, we'll once again need to work on this. But then we'll have another text that says what, whoops, is the duration of the goal. So now what we need to do is we're gonna have to set this up so that if it's recurring, we need to set up what type of recurring it is. So we need like a drop down maybe. And then if it's termed, we need to open up, like, I'm gonna look at how we're doing this. Oh, I guess we already, yes, like if it's recurring, we need to set like, we need to set the occurrence rate, right? So like, I'm wondering if we do want to start an end date. And it calculates if we need a new goal when you open the app based on whether the goal is recurring or not. So we need to keep track of like what the current goal is. We'll figure that out in a second later. Let's just figure this out. So let's go ahead and do this. So now we're gonna have a duration, which is gonna be recurring. Oops. Or, and I'm not even sure that's how it's spelled. Confirmed. Right, and then this is gonna go ahead and start out as and I might have spelled duration wrong, who knows. do this. Duration will start out as recurring. It will start out as recurring. And then that means that if it's recurring, we need to set up if it's recurring weekly, monthly, or yearly. So I need to figure out how to use a drop down. So what is the duration of the goal? We need to set up a couple of checkboxes. Or not checkboxes, radio buttons. So there's probably a way to make a radio on this, but I'm just going to do a view. And then this will be another view. And then what we'd have to do is, like, if it's checked, have something go on in that, and then we'll have the text recurring, like so. We'll do the same thing here, view, and then we'll have another view, and then in here we'll have the text termed. Okay, like that. And with these, we're gonna have to do, so I'm gonna say style is equal to styles dot we'll call this radio group or radio line. Let's call it radio group. So our radio group, again, keep in mind this is just rough. We'll go ahead and I don't know that we need width 100%. We just want display flex basically. And then we can justify content in the flex start and align items in the flex start, I guess. And we'll need to see, and we'll see if we need to change it or not. I don't think we should. So there's that. And then what we'll need is, you don't see much right now, but then we'll say this actually needs to be a touchable opacity. Now that I think about it. So touchable opacity and touchable opacity, so we can click on it. And then style will equal to styles.radio. How's it going, Clipverse? I am doing well, actually. Thanks for asking. So then here we'll display flex this. Trying to learn some React Native, so that's fun. Justify content in the center. Oops. This is React Native. And then I have a BFF on it, but the BFF is just to connect or to talk to a bank API called Teller. I need to actually put this in a scroll, I think. So basically all the BFF does is just communicates to another server at this point. And then let's do a border on this. 1 pixel. I think I need a border width actually. But this is basically just like a little side project I'm working on to try to learn how to, 1, learn how to use React Native, and 2, I want to track my finances. Of course, you can just use some of the other stuff. Border radius 100%. Obviously, there's other tools to help track your spending and stuff. But what's the fun in that, right? So radio, we need a size. Height, let's try. So this is gonna be just for fun, but the code is available to others. 24 might be large. How big do I have it? So like, it's not gonna be live in the sense that other people will be able to connect to it. But the code is available on GitHub. So people can pull the repository and set up stuff for themselves. So I think we need to set this to flex direction and row. So like someone can basically spin up their own server and use this if they wanted to as well. And let's center this. Looks better. Okay. So now looks slightly better. Then we need a gap on this. Gap this 16 maybe. Looks a lot better. So yeah, so technically it's not going to be live, but if people want to spin up their own server and set up their own credentials and stuff, they can pull the code down and work on that, or do that once I get this done. I have another side project that I'm going to try to work on at some point again that is going to go live, but I just haven't had the time. I've been working on other YouTube stuff. Okay. So now I need to look at how we dealt with I gotcha. I haven't gotten that far yet. All I've gotten is basically set up at this point. Okay, so and I'm still like basically learning. It says I'm using Plaid, but I'm not actually using Plaid. I'm using an API called Teller. I haven't gotten to the point of like notifications and all that stuff yet though. Okay. So I'm gonna yoink this. Throw it on this touchable opacity. This will be something that I want to extract, but I'm just trying to get it to work at this point. So now this will be styles.radio. And then here we'll say, we'll get rid of this border width. Well, actually, no, we could probably say border width. We'll say goal dot duration equal to recurring. Do the same thing here. Goal dot duration equal to recurring. And space CF. Let's see. That should have made the background blue. Let's see here. Because it should be set to recurring by default. And get rid of this border width. So it should be blue right now. Because this is set to recurring. Why is this not working? Let's see. We haven't made it that far. All I've gotten to at this point is just like being able to link an account. There we go. Now it's working. Now on click we want to basically, we can't click it yet because we need to be able to swap between recurring and termed. So can I throw an ID on this? Touchable opacity. I'm very much still like in the learning stages of React Native in general. And then on press will equal to handle change duration. Maybe. Let's see. And then let's see const handle change duration e gesture responder event. And honestly, I don't think I was planning on having it like send me notifications. And then I wonder if we can say set goal. I don't know if it'll let me or not. Let's say const duration is equal to e dot. So we can stop propagation. We can get target e dot target dot. Can we get the ID? No. There's current target. Can we get the ID? No. There's type. I'm a full-time worker. What if I say native event dot target dot? Can we get ID? No. Let's just see what we have on this E. Yeah, I am a full-time worker. And let's go ahead and throw handle change. Okay. So this is, I just do this before my full-time job. We click on this. Oh boy. That's a lot of info. There's a ref, style, test ID. I just want an ID, man. That's all I want. I typically work in regular React. That's why I'm working in React Native, just to learn some stuff. So I work for a automotive company on their subscriptions site, basically. Life's good. Life's good. I'm currently a contractor, so that kind of stinks. But we're trying to get to the point where I'm no longer a contractor. So hopefully that comes through. Okay, yeah. That stinks. So ID is not a thing. That's the only thing that kind of stinks about what's going down. So I don't have as good of what's it called? I don't have as good of benefits and all of that stuff, which sucks. But I like my job, I like my team, so all of that's good. And we're working on getting me signed on as a quote-unquote full-time. I work full-time, but I work hourly instead of salary, basically. But I was halfway lucky coming out of college. You just have to apply a lot, like a lot, and if you don't have a degree, it's gonna be difficult. Just being completely real. There's gotta be some way to get the ID from this. Let's see. If you don't have a degree, your best bet is just working on projects, either open source or like on GitHub, and then making it so you can share said projects. Like that's your best bet. Get the ID from a touchable capacity event. But your best bet you can put a key index on it. Okay. Let's do that. Let's throw a key on this. Gotcha. If you have a degree, Like, it's gonna be difficult at this point, but it's possible. It took me 3 months to get a job, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Been 5 years in February. Yeah, so you should be okay. It's going to be tough. That's not like, it's just gonna be how it is. Index. What does index do though? Where's this index come from? I don't like that. Okay. This sucks. If you have a bachelor's in CS, like, you should be fine. This is gonna handle, gonna do this, handle, select, and, what is this one? Recurring. And we'll do this. If you have a bachelor's, the thing that sucks is like your best bet is going to be going handle, select, recurring. What's going to suck is your best bet is going to be to go the contractor route, probably, unless you have a lot of internships. And your best bet is to try to find a contractor or slash consulting firm that a consulting firm that is going to allow basically contract to hire, basically is what it's called. And the idea of contract to hire is, if whenever you get hired, you basically sign a contract that says I will work for X company, or X company will basically hire me as a consultant slash contractor for 12 months, 24 months, 18 months, however long, and then we will buy out their contract, and then they will be full-time with us, basically. That's probably going to be your best bet, because then it's easier to get a job as a contractor through like a consulting firm, because they have a lot of clients far and wide, basically, where you can be placed with them. And then if the client, for whatever reason, you don't work out with said client and they don't buy out your contract, then typically there's like a bench spot situation where they just continue training you and you continue getting paid until they find a new client. So that's probably your best bet. Not equal to recurring. That's kind of the route I went and the route I'm stuck in right now. Just waiting for my contract to be bought out, but there's a bunch of red tape, not red tape, yellow tape that to cut through and stuff. So we're gonna say set goal goal, and then duration will be recurring. And then we'll also have a handle select termed. If it's not termed, we'll set to termed. So there's probably a better way to deal with this radio button logic, but this is what we're gonna do. Okay. Now I'm thinking inside of this touchable opacity, we have another view, style equal to styles dot radio, radio, maybe if I could type, selected. And all this is going to do is we're going to come down to radio selected. And sneeze 1 second, excuse me. Goodness. Radio selected, and the height will be, let's at least kind of make this proper. The height will be 8. Height will be 8. Width will be 8. And we'll go ahead and border none, I believe, or border width 0, I believe is what we end up doing. And then we'll have a border radius 100%. Appreciate that, thank you, and good luck. Good luck with your degree and finding a job as well. I know it seems probably scary getting out of college at this point, but okay, so we need the background color. And you need to apply a lot, basically. So I mean, you don't have to only. Have a good day. Appreciate you. Let's see, and a background color of pound FFF. Cool. And we might want to do that like a blue or something, but whatever, it's fine. I think our spacing is a little bit less. Gap is 8. And we can throw that on this as well. Ooh, not 98, 8. There we go. And we can mess with the size and all that stuff later, but that's fine. So now we basically do the same exact thing. Basically take this radio group. And we actually want to say wrap this. And say goal dot duration is equal to recurring and this. It will only display the middle bit if it's recurring. And then we'll do the same exact thing here. We copy this, paste it, and then now this will be, instead of recurring, this will be termed. This will be termed. And then this will be termed. Oops. Now we need some spacing in there. Obviously, it's a little bit jank. So let's see. So in our, we don't have a radio group. This will be style equal to styles dot goal duration select or something. I don't know. Come down here. Goal duration select. Width will be 100%. And we will display flex this just because we're gonna add a gap on this. Display flex that. And then we will have a gap of 12. And we'll fix this. There we go. Looks better. We probably want a padding on the radio group. We'll do a horizontal padding on this. Padding horizontal. And we'll do like 8 and see what that looks like. There we go. So there's the radio group, and like really we might end up changing this again, but if we click on this, it's because we need to handle select termed. So now this will be handle select termed. Okay, click on termed. And we need to make sure this says termed as well. Okay. Easy radio buttons. Now if it's recurring, we need to make like a drop down. I have no idea how to do a React Native dropdown. Let's see. Is there not? Cool. I don't have a native one. It doesn't look like they have a native one. Cool. So that means we get to create our own native one as well. So this is going to be another one that we probably extract out of here. And we need to, let's see. We'll probably regroup some stuff here. But now what we'll do is have this, and we'll say goal.duration is equal to recurring, and we'll have a view. Whoops, view. And then this will go ahead and be like a text that says, I don't have this in here. Like if it's recurring, we need to say something like, when should this reset, or select the occurrence term or occurrence. Select the occurrence type maybe, or duration. And then we'll have our drop down to a view, and we'll need to figure out like what the active is, right? And we could probably we need a view, and then we'll have to do like a drop down. And this will be interesting. I don't think there's any z-index stuff. I don't want to copy anyone either. But we'd probably have, so this is like our drop down area. We'd have a view. This is like a drop down. We'd have our view. This would have our text. That is like the value, or the selected value. And then we'd have an ion icon probably. Like so, and do something similar to this, where we have the chevron up and down. We'd have like a touchable opacity here. So we'd have like a touchable opacity. And instead of is open, we'd have like, we would have a like const duration or recurring, select open, and set recurring, select open is equal to use state, to a boolean false. And instead we'd use this. So let's see here. Instead of is open, we'd have recurring, select open instead. Okay, so then this would kind of be like the top text area. And then we'd have another view that has like recurring select open, and then we'd have probably want like our map of whatever, so we could be like do something like this. It's not going to change. We can just say like const and duration. I don't want to call it types, but duration or occurrence durations, maybe occurrences. Do it to an array of weekly, monthly, and then do weekly, monthly, and yearly. So then we can do, I need to wrap up here soon. So here we'll go ahead and say occurrences.map, the type. I think we can do it like this. Return a view, actually be a touchable opacity probably. And we need to deal with touching it, but then this will go ahead and say the type text inside of it with the type. So something like that. What did I do wrong here? It needs to be wrapped in a view maybe. Might need to be wrapped in a view. Whoops. This is another thing that we'll probably want to throw in its own thing. And I think maybe we need to throw this entire thing in a view. This might be the problem. It is. Okay. And now we need to wrap this inside a set of curly braces. Okay. And then this, I have no clue what the problem with this is. Missing key property. Okay, whatever. Key is equal to the type. You'll probably get rid of this touchable opacity at this point, or this view at this point, because the touchable opacity will be wrapped in the view. Oops. So then this is gonna look like horrible. If we click on this, select the value doesn't do anything, obviously. We have our selected value. Then whenever you click on it, we want to open. So on this touchable opacity, open occurrence. I feel like I don't know how to spell occurrence. Open occurrence select. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and say const. What do we call this? Already forgot. I feel like occurrence is spelled wrong too, so that's cool. Open occurrence select. and then we'll say set recurring select open. We'll just toggle it. So now if we open this, we have an absolute mess going here. But if we click on this, it opens up. Click on this. Okay, so this is kind of working, except we want this one. We do want the entire thing to be a touchable opacity. We don't just want it on this. So I think we're going to change this one to a touchable opacity. Ooh. We're going to do this. Touchable opacity. This needs to come out here. Outside this touchable opacity. Which that should still be valid. And then we take this. Put it here. For this touchable opacity or that touchable opacity. We do it like that. Now if we click select value, that's fine. And then we need to have the selected occurrence. So we'll go selected occurrence. It's going to be weekly or weekly or monthly or yearly. Could be annual, whatever. And then we'll set this to weekly to start. So selected occurrence. Spelling this differently all over the place. I'll fix it. So now what we'll do is in our selected value, instead of selected value, this will go ahead and be goal dot selected occurrence. I think it's with 2 C's, but I'm not sure. Go ahead and say this. Selected occurrence. Selected occurrence. So now, selected occurrence is weekly. It's gonna be difficult. Oh, alright, y'all. It's 7 o'clock. My daughter's waking up. We are going to have to wrap up the stream. Oh, maybe she laid back down. But it is 7 o'clock, so we are going to wrap up stream here. Time flies when you're having fun, I guess. I don't know why goal dot selected occurrence isn't working. We'll have to figure out what's going on with that. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. And that's going to go ahead and do it. So thank you all for stopping by. This has been Ethan, Encoder. And I'll see you all in the next stream.
My body waiting for your soul in the backyard, in the backyard. Yeah, yeah. I'll take you where you wanna go. Get my passport, get my passport. Waiting for you, can't stop waiting for you. I'm so close to breaking through. Won't stop waiting, waiting for you. She told me she wanna. Yeah, 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 yeah. She told me she wanna. I just wanna. I just wanna. I'm running on diesel, baby, I'm active. Shawty wanna know what's happening. Baby, no cap, I'm captain. Honey, no rings on me, ain't bagging. Diesel, feeling I'm massive. I kill it like Shaq, I'm shacking. Bad little bitch, she savage. Hit it on top all night, I'm damaged.